Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Seminar, and I assume hope you are great. So, I'm sure majority of you may have seen the video from Mike Johnson after the election. You all know that everywhere turned blue, and now they are kind of scared, frightened, and they are like, "What is gonna happen to us? What will happen? How are we supposed to survive?" The purpose is that so you do not survive, because you surviving it means that other people will have to suffer. So enough of people suffering, because so far what this administration has done, it's very terrible. Some people are going hungry, ICE agent and the rest of it. You all are not doing good. Your leadership is whack. On a serious note, so now they are kind of scared, like what is going to happen. I want you all to know that in 2026, it's really going to be very bad for you. It's either you are in or you are out. It's either you do the job that the people vote. Okay, no, people did not actually vote them in. I don't know how they got themselves into that house, including the head of the government and all that. Yes, I don't know how they got into there. But one thing I know for sure is that you all better start packing up, because the level has changed, and the role is about to reverse. In their own words, they are always very scared of what if the role reverse. Let's get into this video.
Let's listen to this crazy ass shit.
I told him this morning what we've talked about many times and what I've said here before. The president is on the ballot in 2026. President Trump is on the ballot next fall. Because if we lose the majority, if the Republicans, the common sense people here who are doing the job for the American people, if we lose the majority in the House and this radical element of the Democrat Party were able to take over, we've already seen that movie. They will try to end the Trump administration. He won't have 4 years, he'll have only 2, because they will move to impeach him probably on the first day of the new Congress in January 2027. And they will try to systematically unwind all the important reforms that we've done for the American people, to lower costs, to have a better quality of living, on health care, to increase access and quality of care. We are the party that is doing that, and the president needs 4 years to complete his agenda, not just 2. So he is in a very real sense on the ballot. He's fiercely committed to us winning. He is going to help. He's offered to do rallies and the teletown halls and all the things. He's sent out a huge round of endorsements of incumbents, Republican incumbents, just over the last few days. He is very much engaged, very dialed in, and he understands the stakes. President Trump is on the ballot in 2026, and we're looking forward to that contest.
Okay, so let's break down what Speaker Mike Johnson really said and what he actually didn't. He stood up there talking about Trump being on the ballot in 2026. Let's talk about the psychology behind that. See, on the right, they look at stuff like this as just politics, but what it really is fear conditioning. He's not telling voters to support policy, he's telling them to protect the king. He's merging Trump's survival with the Republican Party's survival. And what do we call that? That's cult behavior, not democracy. Now, you might wonder why they sit here and consistently call Democrats radicals. He's not warning about danger, he's protecting it. Because that's what manipulators do. They always accuse you of what they are actually doing. He says that Republicans are lowering cost and improving healthcare, but just look around you. Prices are still high, healthcare is still a mess, and they're cutting the very programs that working middle class people actually depend on. That's gaslighting, plain and simple. Oh, and when he says Democrats will impeach on day one, he's not prophesying. That is preemptive damage control. He's already planting the seed. So if Trump is held accountable for his crimes in government right now, his followers, MAGA, will see it as revenge instead of justice. Mike Johnson is not leading a party. He is managing a psychological dependency. The GOP's not even a movement anymore. It's a defense mechanism built around one man. And once a political party loses that identity to one man, that's not democracy. I'm sorry. That's a dictatorship with the little Trump brand.
We have some news right now. Mike Johnson is saying he is no longer promising any vote on Affordable Care Act subsidies, extending ACA subsidies that would help keep premiums relatively low for millions of Americans. So that's the hot button issue right now in Washington, D.C. Whether or not Republicans will allow there to be a vote if the government is reopened on ACA subsidies. And while Mike Johnson's saying, I'm not promising giving you a vote, let alone a result. John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, is saying, you'll get a vote, but I can't promise you what the result will be. And that's why Democrats have kept the government really shut down, have not said we're not going to vote for the CR that Republicans are putting forth, this continuing resolution to reopen the government. Because Democrats say, you know what, we can't trust Republicans. We can't ensure that if we reopen the government today, that tomorrow we'll have a vote on health care. And while Republicans are now saying it out loud, you're not going to get your vote, or at least I can't promise it. Pretty significant news. Spread the word. Follow along for more.
You guys want to talk affordability? Republicans love affordability. Come on now, that's all we do. That's what we stand for, affordability. You know what I mean? We want you to be able to afford whatever you want if you are already a millionaire. Doesn't it make sense? Doesn't it just make sense that if you have more money, we try to put more money in your pocket? That's affordability. Am I right? You think Democrats like Zoran, Mamdani, or AOC, you think they care about how much you can afford? No, it's us. It's us. The people who were born millionaires. We are the ones who are always looking out for the working class. I mean, take a look at our position on healthcare. Take a look at our plan for the Affordable Care Act.
Sir, we've never seen a healthcare plan from Republicans.
I mean, hey, look, we have the framework. We're the framework. You know, we got a couple things worked out, but then we'll negotiate, and then we'll get more. All we need are the Democrats to open up the government. Okay, Republicans are ready. We are ready to work. We are working hard. Working so hard for you.
So why exactly have House Republicans been out of session for 6 weeks?
You can get a lot of work done outside of Washington. Do you know that? Do you realize that? All I'm saying is if you want to eat, open up the government, right? It's hard to afford anything if the government...
Yes, you guys will lose the majority of the House. 2026 election, midterms, because we're going to vote. Yes, we will go for impeachment. Yes, yes, and yes. You spell it out perfectly, because that's what we have in mind. And let me tell you this, MAGA will not be allowed to have control over America, not 1 second more than is allowed under law. It will never happen. I promise you it won't. You get what I'm saying? So in the midterms, guess what we're going to do? Vote. And all those people out there who are sitting at home and doing, remember, midterms is next year around this time. Go look up the dates, where you need to be. Vote. We're going to vote you out. That's it. You're starving people. Okay, you're walking around beating immigrants, tasering them. Some died in some instances. Killing people in the Caribbean on boats. Okay? There's all types of bullshit that MAGA is doing. You pass the big beautiful bill to enrich your friends, your billionaire friends and your billionaire cronies, while poor people are being held at starvation over food stamps, SNAP benefits, this, that, and the third. You get what I'm saying? We don't need all that bullshit. So let me tell you guys something. You need to repent. You may be forgiven, like Marjorie Taylor Greene. You need to repent. You may be, not sure, but you may be forgiven. All of you MAGA guys, every single one of you senators, congressmen, and this MAGA people who support this MAGA regime and ideology that's tearing up America. You see all these airports in Houston, people aren't getting paid. Air traffic control isn't getting paid. You get what I'm saying? Farmers are suffering. They can't get their products sold because of this stupid ass tariff. And this is what you call your Project 2025. Dumbasses, you will be voted out. And let me tell you something else. A lot of you who are committing crimes against humanity, you will be held accountable on the law. After this era of MAGA is over with, you will be held accountable. You will be held accountable. I'm telling you. You're going to be held accountable under law. So I don't know where you're going to live. I'm hearing that a lot of you guys are living on military bases. United States military bases. What a place to choose. When you're the same guys who are canceling out military benefits and benefits for United States military service members who are veterans. What a place to choose to go live. On a military base. Right? Where there are veterans who you're taking their benefits. You see, you're twisted, you're stupid. All of you people are dumb. All of you are dumb. You will be voted out. America don't need you guys. Okay, so you can make all the press conference you want to make and talk about whatever the fuck. We don't give a shit. Next year, midterm, you're gonna lose control of the House and everything. You will. I promise you, you will. You understand? That's how it's gonna be. You guys will not be allowed to ruin this country more than it's already. You guys have done so much destruction. So much destruction with your Project 2025 agenda. It's not even something I could talk about in one video. There's so much destruction that car companies are down, housing is down, tourism is down, air traffic control is literally down, TSA is not getting paid, airports are jammed up. You make me sick, literally sick. All of you MAGA people, you're twisted, man. Get away. Peace.
So after Tuesday night's glorious turnout, you know, the one where every single election that took place that night ended up with a Democratic win, right? Or it was a win for the people overall. Yeah. Mike Johnson took to wanting to warn the remaining supporters in their party that if the Democrats win the midterms for 2026, that they will impeach Donald Trump and end his administration. I'm so happy that you know exactly what's coming. I'm so happy that you know exactly what's coming. But here's the thing, though. You were too busy warning the people about Donald Trump. We're coming after you, too. We're coming after all of you. You think that we're just going to get rid of Donald Trump and then his little henchmen are still going to be lingering around? No, y'all all got to get the fuck out. Now, it's absolutely no surprise to me that the Republican is still playing this game of wanting to blame the left, even though it is painfully obvious at this point that everything is coming from them. Everything negative is coming from the Republican Party. However, they're trying their best to try to salvage the very few, I guess, supporters or mindless supporters that they have. You understand? So an article found on thehill.com explains how President Trump was very quick to distancing himself following the results of Tuesday night's elections, stating that he was blaming the shutdown and arguing his absence from the ballot played a part in the GOP failing to turn out voters. However, the Republicans were like, suggesting that their party did not focus enough on the issues that mattered the most, like affordability. A fucking duh. The MAGAs wanted money. They wanted you to make the economy better. They wanted cheaper fucking groceries. That's what they've been spewing for the longest that you were going to do. And instead, you tried to take away their SNAP. All they wanted was a fucking stimmy. And you decided to take away their SNAP. How the fuck did you think that was going to play out? But let us continue reading the opinions of the current view of the Republican Party, suggesting, the Republicans, that their party didn't focus enough on the issues that mattered most, like affordability, as they looked to hold on to power in Congress. They cared more about power than actually representing the people that supported them. And now they're all getting fucking kicked out of fucking Congress. They're all losing their seats. And now everybody's fucking shaking in their fucking boots because they don't know. They don't know if they're next. My thing is, if you know that you wasn't doing your job, you're fucking next. You're fucking next. Pack your bags, get your desk together, get your little cubicle together, get the fuck out. And now with us finally reaching the part of the timeline where a decent amount of Americans understand that the Republican Party is full of shit, right? The Republicans are also really feeling the heat, and now everybody wants to fucking pivot. Everybody wants to do their job now. Just like how all of a sudden the Supreme Court is starting to talk about how they want to look into some of the tariffs that President Trump first imposed during the beginning of this year to see if they're actually legal. Everybody wants to do their job now because these same Republicans all of a sudden are now wanting to advocate for affordability. Now they want to talk about making things affordable, and I'm trying to understand. Were you not hired to represent the people? Were you not hired to represent your people? So why was that never a part of the agenda? Why was that never part of the plan? Why are you now trying to push that like now? To the point where even J.D. Vance is now starting to talk about it, saying that Republicans need to focus on affordability, calling it the metric by which we'll ultimately be judged in 2026 and beyond. They're realizing that 2026 is over for them. They're about to lose the Senate. They're about to lose the House. And the crazy thing about it is when you were in the position finally to have control over all of these things, you should have made it a priority. to make the people happy, to literally make the people happy. Even see if you could convert some Democrats into changing parties. You understand? That's how good you should have been, considering that you had control over everything. But all you guys did was show your fucking asses. And now anything considered or remotely, connected to red, to Republican, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody wants anything to do with you guys anymore. You've completely fucked up your brand, your party. And I don't know, maybe the only thing that you could possibly do is distancing yourself from President Trump. That's what you would have to do. You would have to publicly denounce this man as your leader. That's what you would have to do. But here's the thing, we still not going to go for it. None of us believe you.
Mike Johnson was asked today whether or not he was worried about the midterms after Democrats' performance last night in the elections. And he said, no, I'm not worried at all because we're going to run on our records and we're going to win and we're going to retain all of our seats in the House and we're going to add to them. We're going to run on our record. But I'm not sure which record Mike Johnson thinks they're going to run on. That they've spent the vast majority of the summer and fall hiding in their districts and not working for the American people. That they hold the record for the longest government shutdown now at his hands because he refuses to negotiate with Democrats. The record for the longest amount of time that a Speaker of the House has provided daily press conferences while the House has not been in session. Or maybe the record of the one big beautiful bill, which is actively destroying what is left of the middle class in the United States. I'm not sure what the Republican record is. Maybe the record for the most people that don't know how to govern in the history of the United States. Because Republicans don't have policy. They only know how to be obstructionists. And Mike Johnson saying he's not afraid is just him trying to convince himself that he's going to be able to retain both the speakership and his spot in the House of Representatives, both of which are looking unlikely. Even in deep red Louisiana, they're tired of Mike Johnson.
MAGA Mike Johnson, the Republican Speaker of the House, is panicking on live TV. He knows the end is near. You're about to lose your job, MAGA Mike. Whether it's Donald Trump perhaps firing you soon, yeah, because you basically work for him at this point, or with the blue wave sweeping across the United States, the end is near for you at the midterms, MAGA Mike. He is not handling it well, but he's handling it like a MAGA, which means he goes and does his humiliation ritual. Yet again, he trots out there. Donald Trump trots him out there to do his little press conference, his little MAGA Mike press conference. And MAGA Mike's like, I don't think that the election on Tuesday has anything to do with the Republican Party. We're stronger than ever. Are you going to cry, MAGA Mike? Here, play this clip.
I don't think the loss last night was any reflection about Republicans at all. I think people are frustrated and angry, as we are. I am. The president is. And we express that different ways. But look, we look forward. We're looking forward to a great election, running on our record, and we're gonna get all of our incumbents reelected, and we're going to add to the number here. So that's the answer.
And then MAGA Mike goes, in fact, as we head into the midterms, we are bullish on the outcome. We take the results from the election as showing that people love the Republican Party and they love our policies. Here, play this clip.
So it's very clear who's responsible for this. And I think that when we go into next year in the midterms, we're very bullish about the outcome. We have an extraordinary record to run on. You mentioned, Leader Scalise mentioned sort of what we call the split screen here. And I'll remind you all again, under President Trump and Republicans, we have had an extraordinary run. The first 9 months of this, 9 months, the 10th month has been shut down because of the Democrats. The first 9 months of this Congress and this administration, arguably the most productive of all time. We cut taxes, cut regulations, cut waste, fraud, and abuse in government.
Yeah, MAGA Mike, like cutting health care for 17 million Americans, raising health care prices for 25 million Americans who may then lose their health care because they can't afford it, cutting food assistance for 42 million Americans, shutting down the government that you all control, and sending Congress on vacation for, I'd say, even more than a month. Like in the past 102 days, Congress has worked about 11 of those days. Let's take a look here what MAGA Mike had to say as well. MAGA Mike says, and again, what happened last night was more about blue states and blue cities. Don't look into this at all. There's nothing more to see here. Here, play this clip.
There's no surprises. What happened last night was blue states and blue cities voted blue. We all saw that coming. And no one should read too much into last night's election results. Off-year elections are not indicative of what's to come. That's what history teaches us. By the way, it's worthy of note that Zohran Mamdani himself only received a little over 1 million votes, 1,036,000 votes. There are 8.3 million residents in New York City. 8.5 million actually is the number, I think. So about 12% of the city voted.
So that they could feel like the American people were on their side. But the American people spoke. We are not putting up with this shit. Keep this momentum up going into midterms next year. Excuse me, because like Mike Johnson just said, you can end this shit after 2 years. Mike Johnson's a fucking idiot. Donald Trump is a fucking idiot. Today has been a glorious day watching the Republicans fucking crying and flailing after losing so terribly.
Mike Johnson just said that if the Democrats win the midterms, Donald Trump will be impeached and his administration will end. The very idea of being held accountable for the countless crimes all of these people have committed has them absolutely terrified. Just watch this.
If we lose the majority in the House and this radical element of the Democratic Party were able to take over, we've already seen that movie. They will try to end the Trump administration. He won't have 4 years, he'll have only 2, because they will move to impeach him probably on the first day of the new Congress in January 2027.
It says everything that after being swept last night, the Republicans still can't get themselves to talk about fixing the economy or helping the American people. Their main priority is protecting Trump from any accountability. How pathetic is that? They know they were just exposed and the voters are fed up. We have proof of it now. The people are done with these games. They're terrified because they know they're about to lose power, and without that power, they can't shield themselves and Trump from all of the consequences of their actions. Imagine being so afraid of the voters that you publicly admit the democratic process will end your administration. That's a pretty good indication that the Republican Party is not doing anything to help the American people. What's crazy is they've spent years weaponizing impeachment, investigations, and outrage against the Democrats. But the second the tables turn and the voters make their voices heard, suddenly it's, they're coming after us. Yeah, welcome to accountability. That's exactly how democracy is supposed to work, and these people don't fear impeachment because they're innocent. They fear it because they know exactly what they've done, the abuse of power, the lies, the attacks on democracy and human rights. They know a Democratic majority will not turn a blind eye to everything they've done. They will shine a light on it.
This is all I got from this video, and I love the fact that they are already feeling the heat, because why not? Why wouldn't they feel the heat? They are seeing how life is already getting. See, sincerely speaking, I am very proud of everybody working so hard to make sure that the whole thing is about to turn blue, because one thing I have said several times here is how much they want to hold on to power. Not just only hold on to power in the United States, they are also extending their powers other continent. Because tell me how they are in the United States and they want to strike some places in Africa. Please. So far, so good. It is going great because they woke up on Tuesday and found out that they are already at the bottom barrel. It's a gone for them. And I love it. I truly do hope that at 2026, the House is being taken back by the Democrats. Let's see how they function. Let's see how they will perform. Because if you all remember, you will remember that they were fighting so hard to make sure that some elections do not happen this November. You all know that they still do not want some elections to happen. I reported that, I think September, that they didn't want election to happen this November. And in some states, they have actually shifted it to 2026. If I am not mistaken, yes, I reported that here. And I am so happy that some people had their elections this year and more will still happen. Some had their elections this year, and let's see how 2026 goes. They thought that they will continue to hold on and be the ones. Stephen Miller and all of them, they better start packing up their bags, because it's either you are in or you are out. I love this energy. Shout out to everybody. Bye for now.